Okie fucking dokie. We got a Kohler Courage valve cover gasket and supposed fix to stop your leaking on the Kohler Courage engines. If you've had one of these for quite a few years, you will notice that you have some smoke every now and then coming out the front of the mower. And why that is because they have junk cork gaskets. I told this customer that I have a semi-permanent fix for this, but they went ahead and got the thicker valve cover and the bottom shim, whatever you want to call it, shim, spacer, fucking whatever. It does help a lot better, but it's not as good as the fix that I have on there on my other video. But I don't get paid to wonder and ask questions. I just get paid to do what I was hired to do. So let's jump right into it. Got 4 8mm bolts. 1, 2, third one's hiding. Got to get it with a small ratchet, small extension. And 4. And your dipstick. Take the cover off. Set it to the side. Now what I like to do real quick is I'm going to take this heat shield off. We got 2 10mm bolts on each side. On this side, on that side. I'll be right back. When you take your heat shield off, do not pull straight out on it and yank like a son of a bitch. What needs to happen is you pull straight out and you have to turn it. Wiggle it past there so it gets caught on this. So don't go yanking and bowling around. Now what I like to do at this point, see all this oily, hairy, grassy shit, and take the air and blow as much of that off as I can. More than likely the air compressor is going to kick on, so don't have a heart attack or go into complaint mode that it's too loud, I can't hear. I want to get all that, as much as that black leaking oil off there as I can. While the compressor's building back, I'm going to take a wire brush, and on the top part here I'm going to just lightly scrape that heavier stuff. You don't want any of that falling down in their head. You just slightly Get as much of that out of there as you can. Alright, so there's going to be Permatex. Sometimes there's going to be a lot of it, so I didn't do this job. The customer did himself. I guess it worked for quite a while, but now he's starting to have problems with it, not even 2 years later. So we'll go along the valve cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts, 10 millimeter. Give your oil breather tube out. Try to get it tucked up out of your way. That one was loose. That one was loose. That one's over tight. Now, if you're a neat freak, a clean person, whatever, a little bit of oil is going to come out of here, but not enough to call OSHA. Hang on a sec. Again, once you get those 7-10 mils out, there might be a little bit of oil. See? It's just a spoonful. It's nothing to cry about. Holy moly. They tighten that down so frickin' bad. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, if you go with these garbage corks, go back and check my other video out before you go and spend the money on these garbage corks. Okay, they're garbage. But I ain't got no choice but to fix this the stupid ass way. So go back, check out my video on how to do the slightly permanent fix on these. So what I do at this point is I go through parts cleaner and get as much of that oil out of there as I can. Even blow the old stuff right off. Okay. Now this is pretty much garbage. So now what I do is I have a crappy Well, I did. Hang on a second. Yeah, I got this crappy wire wheel for the impact. What I do is real lightly. You ain't gotta go crazy. Just clean this surface off. Get all that crap off of there. It is easier with two hands. Trying to give you guys a good view at this. I run over this whole area. Get all that old crap off of there. Scuff up your head too a little bit so that Permatex grabs really good. Well, get that area cleaned real good. Spray that out again just in case you got some chunks in there. Grab you some paper towels. Wipe around the whole area, the whole head area. Cleaning off all that oil, because you don't want to get any oil mixed in with your Permatex. It won't seal good. Okay. Set y'all down. I think I can bring you guys over to the workbench so that I can use both my hands but show you what's up at the same time. This is not brought to you in part by, but this is the #1 tool in my shop. Even though this is a brand new valve cover, it's just like I treat this just like I would if I bought new brakes, rotors and drums. It's got a little bit of oil residue in it from the factory, so just give that a little bath. You guys even seeing this? Yeah, a little bit. Take your new paper towel, just give that area a good clean. Okay. Alright, hang on, my Permatex is fighting with me. Alrighty, unfortunately my Permatex is giving me a little bit of a runaround. Let's see if we can make do. Hang on. Alright, sorry about the pause, but unfortunately I had to run to the store and get some new high temp Permatex. I get the red RTV silicone, obviously high temp gasket maker. That area does get hot, and that's part of the reasons why it warps that valve cover and starts to leak. Let's see if I like it at this tip. See how we do here. Yep. We'll cut one more tip off. There we go. You guys can make fun of me all you want about the amount of Permatex I use, but I like to be that one and done guy. And I actually wouldn't even use this gasket. I'd put straight Permatex in there and be completely done with it. And now I just take my finger and even it out. Try to bring it into the inner edge, because that's where our gasket sits. It's toward the inner edge. I like to build it up as high as this lip is. Again, you can use as much as you want to use or as little as you want to use. I don't care. You're the one's got to come back and fix it, not me. So, stuff's only $5 a tube. Be my dog telling me that he's all done going to the bathroom and he wants to go inside. It's okay. Got my desired amount of perm on there. Make sure you put this gasket on right, or you'll have a Permatex Play-Doh. A little heavy in that corner, but that's alright. Once I snug these up, it's going to push some out anyways. But lightly go around. Just press it into the Permatex a little bit until I see it squishing out. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little lighter on this edge here. We're on both sides. And that gives you double coverage. So you for sure ain't got no leaks. Again, run through. Evened out. Okay. Now I'll take you all over to the tractor. Make sure you guys can see where I'm working there. Okay. Get your valve cover bolts ready to rock. What I like to do is get one started and poked through perm. I'll do a top one, and just finger snug it a couple. Another top one real quick, just because I have to put that plate on the bottom. Yeah, it's gonna go just like that. These are like that because there's a different style exhaust on some of these, and these are going to be your bottom exhaust bolts, but this is the different style, so we ain't gotta worry about that. Threads. That side. Couple threads. Where did my little ratchet go? I'm going to snug these up ever so gently. You want to try to crisscross them. I only do it till I see the Permatex squishing out. Okay, and then what I'll do is, before I snug this 100% back down, I like to listen to the directions of the Permatex. And directions are, if you haven't read them, is to get your Permatex set where you want it, snug up your bolts until you see the Permatex squishing out, but don't go beyond. Once you start seeing it squishing out, stop. You wait about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you come through and you tighten them down how you like them. And then that's when I pay attention to crisscrossing. So, you know, I do just like you would a tire. You one at the top, the furthest one apart at the bottom, another one at the top, same thing, furthest part. Just zigzag them as best you can, and do not over tighten these, because that's what everybody loves to do, and that's what squishes them port gaskets. And that's how people get screwed over, because you do all this work and then it's leaking oil. So just to be on the safe side, double up your Permatex. And then snug it till you start seeing it squish out just a little bit. You can see right here that I didn't go in very far. I just snugged it up until I seen some Permatex squish out right here. Like I said, I'm gonna wait 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm gonna come back and snug these up, and we'll finish up the rest of this job. So we'll be right back when this tacks up. Alright, now the Permatex is tacked up for about 50 minutes here, so we're almost at the hour mark. Here's where I don't use the impact for this. I use my extension. See, I almost screwed you up. Crisscross. We're just going to snug these up. Not too much. Just nice and tight. I'm sure that there's 100% a torque to this, but I've been doing these for a long time, so I just kind of know where I like them. Mosquitoes are out. Go through. Let's give it a good check. Yep. Feels nice and good. Put your oil tube back in there. Now, if you feel confident enough that you got it right, come on. Feel confident enough that you got it right, then you can put everything back together. We're not going to run this until about 12 hours later. Give that Permatex a good chance at hardening and sealing correctly. And one thing we don't want to do in the shop is backtrack. This machine's got a new deck belt. It's got brand new oil cover gasket. Also got a much quieter exhaust now. So she's ready to haul ass and cut some grass. Okay, there's a heat shield back on. Put our motor shroud back on. Make sure that this is sitting on there nice and even, because when you go and turn your engine over, she could take right off on you and be all crooked and cockeyed. Okay. Oil cap, and then you got that last bolt in the back, pain in the ass one. I don't know why they did it this way. Should have made a smaller gas tank, or not put that outer. Then you're going to put your hood back on, your headlights back up through, and you are done with the valve cover gasket and valve cover. I, however, because I'm waiting 12 hours or so to check this, I am going to leave my hood off. It looks like this rubbed once upon a time. on, you goofy thing. There she goes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is another job well done. As usual, I appreciate the hell out of you. Please give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share a video. Tell YouTube that I'm the most awesomest fucking mechanic in the world. Because I enjoy doing these videos and spending some time with everybody. So, and also, if I can save somebody a few bucks, hey, or teach somebody a thing or two, then I'm pretty happy. So, again, thanks a lot. Hope this one was helpful. And you have yourselves a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is when you watch this. Ciao.